Hello everyone. Our journey begins in the mid 20th century when Kazakhstan was part of the Soviet Union. During the 1950s and 60s, Kazakhstan's mining and metallurgical centers adopted early automated control systems to regulate heavy industrial processes. These systems were foundational in the move from purely manual labor to mechanized control. Universities such as the former Kazakh Polytechnic Institute and others began departments of automation and cybernetics, training engineers in control theory and system design. Although true robots as we know them were not yet common, these developments laid the groundwork for future robotics in Kazakhstan by establishing a culture of automation and precision engineering. At this stage, the focus was primarily on understanding how machines could think and respond to data, which marked an important shift toward more advanced technological research. This early period is significant because it shaped the scientific mindset and the technical infrastructure that would later support the rise of robotics in the country.
In 1991, Kazakhstan became an independent state, and the country faced serious economic and educational challenges. Many laboratories and research centers had limited funding, and it was difficult to develop high-tech fields on a large scale. However, interest in automation and robotics did not disappear. Throughout the 1990s, engineering clubs in universities and colleges kept working, often using simple materials and improvised components. Students built small robot arms, wheeled platforms, and other basic mechanisms for science fair and technical competitions. These projects were not large or advanced, but they were very important. They helped preserve engineering skills, creativity, and problem-solving culture. Even in difficult conditions, students continue to experiment, learn, and think about the future. Thanks to these early efforts, a foundation was formed that later allowed robotics education and competition in Kazakhstan to develop much more actively.
The 2000s marked a major turning point for robotics education in Kazakhstan. Schools introduced robotics clubs, teachers used basic sensor kits, and universities expanded mechatronics courses. Around 2008-2010, Kazakhstan held its first national robotics competition, encouraging students to design and build robots for challenges. This helped spark widespread student interest and created the first communities of young investors. This educational shift provided the human capital foundation for Kazakhstan's later capabilities in robotics and innovation. This contest became the birthplace of many future engineers who would later represent Kazakhstan on the world stage.
The 2010s ushered in a period of accelerated innovation for robotics in Kazakhstan. Universities opened advanced labs with 3D printers, sensors, robotics arms, and drone technologies. Kazakhstan students began participating in international robotics competitions, and the Kazakh teams started to bring home recognition. Concurrently, local startups emerged, developing service and educational robots for industry, healthcare, and agriculture. This growth reflected a broader national focus on STEM education, encouraging young innovators to see robotics as a field where they could build real careers and create meaningful technological change. This era signaled that Kazakhstan was no longer just adapting equipment, but could generate its innovations and contribute to the global robotics community.
Today, robotics in Kazakhstan is thriving and expanding rapidly. Robotics support education, industry, healthcare, and agriculture. The national agenda of Digital Kazakhstan emphasizes innovation and high-tech skills. Universities such as Al-Farabi Kazakh National University launched dedicated bachelor and master's programs in robotic systems in recent years, 2018, to train specialists in mechatronics, electronics, and control systems. Farabi University, from the early optimization machines in Soviet year factories to today's autonomous systems and robotics contests, the history of robotics in Kazakhstan is a story of transformation, resilience, and the technological ambition. and it continues to be written by today's students and engineers. Thank you for watching.